like with some.
Can we take pictures in here? Now let me do something, and then you have your time for pictures. Why we here now? We're here because inside the Sistine Chapel, we are not allowed to explain. They don't let us explain, they keep you together, give you the introduction in the chapel. Now, they help us with the slides. That they show the whole decoration inside the Sistine Chapel. This is the only opportunity for me to explain the Sistine Chapel. After this, we stay a couple of minutes, take your picture, then we go inside the museum on the way to the Sistine Chapel. There's another gallery with no slides like this, with something electronic, horrible, very small, but the gallery is very narrow, crowded, noisy. This is the best place to give you an introduction about the Sistine Chapel. Is that okay? Fresh air, sunshine, after 1 week of storms. So much. You have rain during your tour?
Yes.
So the artist from the Vatican studio with a special chemical solution cleaned the paintings. That's all they did. They did not restore, not repaint anything, just clean. They did a great job. They did not alter the original colors, and to show everybody as the paintings were before, they left several sections without cleaning. One on the other side. Some others also did. Unbelievable. Have you seen the election of the Pope last year on television? Conclave. Sistine Chapel is no more used for services. It is part of the Vatican museums, but it's still used for the conclave, election of the new Pope. Chapel, a rectangular room divided into two sections by the original marble screen. It was built in 1475 as the private chapel of Pope Sixtus IV. That's where the name Sistine came from. You hear me okay with the mic like this from an
Yes.
The fresco painting decoration in the chapel was done in 3 different periods of time. The first paintings were done on the side walls by the Umbrian and the Florentine, the 2 Italian leading painting schools, led by the 2 best painters in the world at the time, Botticelli from Florence, Perugino from Umbria. At the bottom, just painted the drapes. In the middle, 6 different pictures on the left show moments from the life of Moses. 6 pictures on the other side show moments from the life of Jesus, which means episodes from the New Testament. On the upper row, between the windows, all around, they represented the first 30 popes. That's all they did in 2 years, 1481 to 1483. There are huge single paintings above the windows at the top of the sidewalls. They were done by Michelangelo when he did the ceiling. So about 10 painters altogether in 2 years did the sidewalls. One day, one man only, Michelangelo. Have you ever seen the movie or read the book, The Agony? Pope Julius was nicknamed. Let me tell you one thing, everyone. Let me give you a choice. That talk always reminds me. To make you enrich your Vatican time so much more, 100 times more, you have a choice. Or you listen to me for 3 hours continuously now. You listen to me for 3 hours continuously. Or when you're home again, you're home very soon, as soon as possible, don't wait too long, watch again the agony and the ecstasy. All you do, carving, stop. Now you paint the whole ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. You know how big the ceiling is? Michelangelo wasn't a painter and he hated painting. The ceiling is 125 feet long, 45 feet wide, plus the spaces above the windows at the top of the sidewalls. Michelangelo said, "Father, what did you say?" Paint what? The ceiling. That's what you said? I said, yes. Thank you. Why don't you give it to Raphael? Michelangelo and Raphael hated each other so much that they would have killed each other once a day. Once a day. The cardinals next to the Pope said, Father, Michelangelo is right. How can you give something like this to him? It's not his art, it's not his work. Raphael is the best painter, give it to him. It sounds, normal. I mean, the Pope said, Raphael is so busy. I gave him something very important to do. I said, what is he doing? He's decorating my new apartment. The best painter in the world was doing house painting within an apartment. And then the Pope said, for what I want on the ceiling, I don't need the best painter in the world. I need the worst boy. Because he has the genius. I'm very sorry, because I would have killed him. I would kill him. But he has the genius I need. The Pope told the cardinals, this is the only one who can do what they want. Only a genius of that kind can do what they want on that seal. It is 56 feet high, 45 feet wide. Michelangelo was 61 when he started, 67 when he finished. At the very top you can see column of flagellation, crown of thorns, and the cross, which were the instruments of passion of Jesus. Here is Jesus with his mother, at the end of the world, ready to judge everybody. All around them you see many, many people, saints, apostles, martyrs. Here is Saint Peter showing the keys to Jesus, keys of the kingdom. Here Saint Lawrence is showing the grill because he was grilled alive. Saint Bartholomew showing the knife and hanging the skin because he was skinned alive. Here a group of angels with trumpets calling everybody to the last judgment. Down here is the Purgatory, with at the end elect the people going to heaven. Finally the hell on the other side, with lots of sinners thrown down there. So when Michelangelo finished in 1541, Renaissance was over. Everybody closed his mind. Martin Luther had protested. The church was in a very big trouble. The Cardinals College did not approve the work. Michelangelo used to represent people as much as possible, men and women, young and old, in the way God created. Completely naked, very strong and very beautiful, to show the purity and the dignity of people. But the Cardinals College did not approve. The main cardinal, Biagio da Cesena, said this is no more time to show works like this to the world. The main cardinal said that the work has to be destroyed very soon. The Pope said, how can you destroy something like this?
Okay. You want to take a picture of the
It's the enemy.
Black sweater.
Three galleries on the way to the chapel. Useful for you to get the idea about the beauty of buildings of Imperial Rome. The name is Gallery of Candelabras, Candlesticks Gallery. At the sides of the arches all along there are 12 marble candelabras, 1,800 years old, from ancient Roman buildings. Lots of statues, carvings, reliefs, pieces of decoration. About 2,000, 1,900 years old. Decorating palaces, villas, courtyards, gardens of rich Roman families. 80% of the plaques on marble laid on the floor of the gallery come from buildings of Imperial Rome. So now you see plaques 2,000 years old. You see marbles from north of Africa, Egypt, Greece, and Middle East. That's where the Romans in the old times imported marbles from. The design and the decoration of the gallery, it's 100% Roman imperial architecture. A gallery like this, it's almost a perfect duplicate of a gallery of a building like Caesar's Palace, Nero's house. In the archaeological area, you don't see anything like this. So you get the idea. Okay? Piano piano, let's go. Very few sarcophagi to wander here in the middle. But there are many, many more in cinerary urns. Because the Romans in those times were mainly pagan people. When the pagan Romans died, they were not buried, they were cremated and the ashes inside them. And look at these two girls in the middle, one in front of the other. Two goddesses, two different Dianas. On the left, the classical Greek goddess of hunting, here, the famous Diana of Ephesus, goddess of what? Goddess of fertility. That's why so many breasted, to symbolize the eternal fertility of nature. The upper part is original, 1900. Come ahead. All along Middle Ages, everyone, the church did not accept Roman and Greek art. For hundreds of years, thousands of statues, Greek and Roman statues, were destroyed. Since time, everybody here opened his mind. One of the very first so-called humanistic popes realized that they were destroying a priceless artistic treasure. So the Pope one day said that from now on, art is art, religion is religion. One of the largest, probably the richest museum in the world. Two things made the Vatican become a museum. Two things. So look at the ceiling. Single frescoes along the sides, beautiful, you see. The ceiling was painted 160 years ago as a normal house painting. This is nothing special. House painting, interior decoration. It was done by a Florentine school of painting. The Vatican never engaged the house painters or interior decorators. The Vatican always engaged the greatest artists existing in the world. Come around this picture in time. That's house painting church in the next.
When I first visited Sistine.
World Cup in Berlin. Sorry for you. The best World Cup of all times. Semi-final against the Germans, final against the French. It couldn't be better. It couldn't be better. But the French had their own revenge 2 weeks ago. They destroyed the Italian team in Paris for the new competition, Europe Cup. But the World Cup is still in Italy. Look on the left. As you come in. This statue is 2,000 years old. A dying Gaul. Gauls are the French. He just killed himself with a sword into the head. 2,000 years ago, they started killing themselves.
Represented Jesus Christ. First of Jesus, the three
The ones on the left are original Gobelin, Flemish tapestries. And they were, of course, woven in Brussels, Belgium, in 1549 by the artist of the school of Peter van Elst, #1 school in Europe. A square yard of it required 1 year of work. The cartoons, the pre-sketches of them have been designed, prepared by Raphael and his new school. Then the sketches were sent to Brussels, where they were transformed into tapestries. Look at the ceiling and the single features along the center of the ceiling. Look at the second one. Second rectangular picture. Looks like a cave. Is that right? Yes. If you touch that picture, it's flat. The ceiling, the whole ceiling, it's 100% fresco painted. Around slowly, slowly keep. Good. The ceiling, it's 100% fresco painted with no relief, but with a perfect play of a chiaro scuro, which means shade light play. That's why such a perfect three-dimensional illusion. The shadows are all painted. I'm not real. Done as a normal house painting, again interior decoration by the painting school of Florence 230 years ago. Not by house painting, but it is just a house painting. Interior.
Video.
Massacre of the Innocents by King to kill Jesus, it's according to tradition. Massacre of the Innocents, male babies, killed by King Herod. Keep going, please. Here I am. Now in a minute you realize about two things. What kind of combination of geniuses is connected to the tapestries on the left And you also realize about that the tapestries, the ones on the left, are in the wrong place. This is a narrow gallery. They should be in a room 10, 20 times bigger than this. Voilà. Spread out, and the last ones get as close as possible. We're getting close to the largest tapestry. Look, it shows the resurrection of Jesus. Look at Jesus' face. You see Jesus watching you? Keep looking at Jesus' face and keep going. Don't stop. Huh? Keep looking at the face of Jesus and keep going. Don't stop. Don't push anybody down to watch the people. Keep looking at the face. Keep going. You see Jesus following you? Isn't Jesus following? Excuse me. Stop. Look at me. Look at me, everyone. Look at the table. You see the white table? Keep looking at the front side and keep going. And see what happens. Keep going. Yeah. Look at the table and keep going. Keep looking. Keep going. The faster you go, the better it works.
Yeah.
What is he doing? He's turning. Look at Jesus' face. Jesus still watches us, but we opposite side. See there? And look at the table. Keep going, keep going, keep going. If you get here, the table turned around 180 degrees. You see that? The last ones keep going. Wait for me. Don't follow the Japanese. This is the assassination of Julius Caesar. When on March 15, 44 BC, he was stabbed 23 times by several people, including the famous Brutus and Cassius. Look at the scene. By Maestro Girolamo Veneziano, best Raphael, supported by the Florentine painter. Vatican never had a painting school. Always painters, mainly from Florence, from Andria, from Venice. Can I have in one way, this is again a normal interior decoration, house painting. On the other hand, the ceiling like this, it's a book of Vatican history. Each single picture is a document. Shows you something that happened and people connect to what happened. So it's a book of Vatican history. Part of the Vatican history is displayed by the ceiling. And that was very useful at the time, and most of the people could not read in the whole world. Most of the people could not read. Easiest, the fastest way to teach, explain important subjects like theology, history, and so on was through pictures. Original one, because the original church at the end of 1400s was falling apart and especially sinking down very quickly. In 1503, Pope Julius II, an architect Bramante, decided to destroy the old original church and rebuild a new one, and that's what they did. It took 3 years to destroy the original church. In 1506, Bramante started the reconstruction, but he died very soon. Who did they engage? Michelangelo. He never studied engineering. He never studied architecture. And they engaged Michelangelo, who gave the last 19 years of his life to rebuild the church with the highest dome up above. He died a few days after, he was 90 years old.